Well, good morning and welcome back to Dropping Floats. We went up last night and stayed at Bonnie's Crossing campground, and I'm walking down the trail just from the campground. Gonna do a little fishing this morning. We won't be doing float fishing today. I elected to just take the dry fly rod out. These little creeks seem to be pretty active right now, feeding at the surface. So heading down from the campground. Got the fishing buddies with me. Yeah, and you really can't see Drifter off there. He's running around like a crazy dog. But anywho, he'll show up later, I'm sure. But I'm gonna make my way down river and then work the dry fly back up to the campground. Okay, I got one so far. Didn't get it on camera. I'm running a dry dropper. It's a very bouldery kind of stream. I'm working my way up. It's been a kind of a pain in the butt. There's a lot of overhanging branches, so trying not to get hung up constantly has been a challenge. But I'm gonna keep working this boulder garden up back towards camp. And the one I got was just right kind of behind me. I worked this little riffle right here. And it was a pretty nice sized one for a stream this small. It was probably 6 inches, so really can't complain about that. And he ate a pink chubby Chernobyl is what he decided to eat. So gonna keep working up the river and get some more footage here. Just working this tail with a chubby and a little dropper, dead drifting it back to me. And as it floats to me, I want to raise my rod tip and take the slack off of off the water. I had one strike here, but I didn't get him. Just want to work this really good before I move up. Just kind of working all the different little pockets. It's not a lot of room to cast, so I barely have any fly line out. You know, just casting about a rod length. Well, it looks like they've got wise to my offerings. These little creeks, you really just got to cast a couple times and move, cast a couple times and move. There's really no sense in working one hole, you know, for an hour. Last cast. All right, nothing's happening. Gonna move up. It's a great looking little spot. I had one brief hookup already and he came off. Just keep moving up. This is a very difficult river to fish. It's like the snaggiest creek I've ever fished. And the rocks are very slick. I thought the Deschutes was a pain in the ass to fish. Only saving grace here is there's not a crazy current. Up here, Oh, and he got really tangled. Oh boy. Oh boy. Wiggle out. There we go. Got him off. He ate the dry fly. And then he left me a nice mess to untangle. I guess I did hook him in the mouth, so that's fair. Alright, just a little guy. Nothing of any size yet. But the fishing has been consistent. It's fun. It's a change of pace. It's very similar to Clear Creek. I wouldn't call it a destination stream, but if you're here fishing the lower Deschutes during the summer and you get hot and you want to cool off, it's always a good idea to go up in the forest, and you can have a fun time fishing these little clear creeks like this. This is Badger Creek near Bonnie's Crossing Campground. That's where I'm at. It shows up on Google Maps. It's easy to get here. It's about 30-40 minutes away from Maupin. And a very nice change of pace as far as the fishing goes. I think I've caught about 5 so far. It's been a little challenging getting the timing down with the fly rod and the different kind of GoPro setup I'm using today. If you do come here, be prepared. Wade in this river is gnarly. Even though it's little, it is treacherous. It's one rock can be totally grippy, good traction with your boot. The rock right next to it is slick as grass, slick as ice. So it's kind of weird. And you never know what you're going to get when you make a step. Similar to the lower D, just boy, this river is clear. Gin clear. And a perfect bouldery rock garden. The whole river. Very trouty. They can be hiding under like any little creek or crevice. I've had really good success. I haven't really gotten any on camera. But I'm running a dropper rig with a very minimal leader from the dry fly, about 10 inches or so, just because this creek is, in ways, it's smaller than Clear Creek. I think it's wider. It's a much shallower river. Get it right up in there. Oh, had one on briefly. That was a sneaky take, boy. Sneaky take. All right, let's keep moving up. That's the key. Don't overwork an area. The more water you work, the more your chances of getting fish goes up. Oh. Up there it is. Put it right in the bucket there. Oh, I saw a flick at it. See if we can't get him to hook up this time. Oh, nope, he did it again though. Little turd. No, he might have learned his lesson now. Oh, had him on. Well, there's my other fishing buddy over there. He has been known to spoil a mini hole. He'll just come crashing through, reckless abandon. She knows what she's doing. She stays out of the way, but the big brown guy, he just goes. Well, couldn't get him to come back. That was fun though. Some pretty good action there. See if I can't keep moving up without busting my butt. This is, I'm gonna call this the little D, because the waiting. Alrighty, well I'm gonna flick you off to conserve battery. I'm trying a new method of filming with a different attachment. It's working pretty good, but I have the Volta attachment that gives you a lot more battery capacity. So I'm having to just use the little GoPro batteries, which don't last very long. And right up in front of that boulder. Oh, no, should have gone a little bit to the right. Alright, no. Alright. Fish. It's probably my best fish so far on this little creek. Get my hand wet here. Oh, yeah. Here we are. Very pretty colors. He ate a dry fly. He ate another shot of him. Let's get him back in the water. He ate a purple haze. I decided to ditch the dropper, and then the fishing really went dead on me. And then so that kind of encouraged me to do a fly change, went to something smaller. I'll give you a shot of that fly again. And as soon as I did that, the fishing came back and I started getting actions and strikes and takes. But this little creek is just beautiful. And it's only 30-40 minutes from Maupin, so if you come into Maupin to fish the lower D, definitely go up to Badger Creek where I'm at, or Clear Creek. It's a little change of pace, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Well, the dry fly fishing has been pretty consistent today. This is probably one of the snaggiest creeks I've ever fished. It's truly unreal how many times I've gotten snagged today. Every time I turn around. Would help if I had a little bit smaller dry fly rod, but I've only got the one, a 5 weight, so it's a little big, but it's still, it's uncanny how many times I've been snagged today. Oh, there's one. Oh, and he came off. Well, that's cool to get it on camera. The biggest one I've got today has been about 6 inches. They really like this purple haze fly. It's what I've been using a lot. I've played around, put some soft tackle stuff on. I don't see a lot of bugs flying around, and I really don't see a lot of feeding at the surface while I'm fishing. It's just, they are definitely hitting the dries though. So, and the wading here is not the easiest. It is, it's like a little D with the gnarliness of the wading. But very clear, very cute little river. Creek, I'd say. Just every single step is uneasy. But the fishing has been pretty good. A lot of action, which makes it fun. It's really difficult to cast because there's so much vegetation around. I've resorted to just ugly little flicks because you don't need to cast that far. Just wanting to work that structure there. And this little spot up here is probably going to be where I'm going to call it a day. It's like a nice little deep hole. Hopefully pull something out of here. I'm gonna get some floating on this fly though. It's sinking pretty fast. Anywho, I'll jump back on once I get some floating put on the fly, and we'll work this last little hole together and see what we can get out of it. All right, we're gonna work this last little hole, see what we can find, and a snack. That's what the entire day has been. A little frustrating. You can't do any kind of traditional fly cast. Pretty much all you can do is roll cast. Oh, there's one. And it came off. All right, perfect. Oh, had another one briefly. Oh. Oh, he got it. Another little guy. This is really fun fishing because the water is so clear you can watch them torpedo up out of the water to get the fly. Oop, perfect, he came off. Which makes it really fun because you can see them coming for it. Oh, and that's a nicer sized one. Oh yeah, that's this fish of the day. Guaranteed fish of the day. That's a nice fish. All right, let's see if I can't keep him on. Oh yeah. Oh, come on. Dink right in the nose. Fish of the day. That's a nice fish. Boy, and he sharked that thing, man. He hammered it. Hammered it and went. All right. Twists out. There we go. Well, it's 3 out of this little hole. I haven't really been counting today as far as a total, but it's a lot, but they're little, you know. These little streams are a really good place to come to practice casting accuracy, because it's a lot of little short casts. Boy, that last fish was nice. All right, I need to move up in the hole a little bit. Yeah, let's do a couple of more steps. Yep, there's another one. Woo! Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Maybe it'll shake off. Oh. There we go. Bink. All right. See how many more we can get out of this same pool. That's usually, you don't get too many out of these little pools, 1 or 2. And then it's time to move on, but I know I'm terrible at keeping track. I think that was 4. Oh, right in the shadow. There's got to be something nice sitting down there in that shadow. There's gotta be. Wow, surprising. Nothing there. Alright, keep moving up. They must have sent a text out to their fishing buddies and said, there's a fisherman here. Nothing there. Let's get right up in that whitewater. Alright. A couple falls to dry it off. Nothing. I think this pool's done. I'm going to move up to the head of it, and I'm going to make a couple casts into the smaller pool right above it here. And then I'm probably going to call it a day. And I'll probably get snagged trying to do this. Oh, there's one. Oh! Hey! Alright. Another nice one. I mean, some of you might laugh, but that's a hog for this little stream. Yeah, it is. Oh, jeez, 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 jeez. Simmer down. Alright. Buddy. All right. Very productive little hole. It sure is fun with the water being so clear. You can watch them take it. Watch them come up from depth and smash it. And that little guy keeps playing with it. So to end today's video, I want to kind of just talk briefly about the different techniques that I used. I started the day with a dry dropper, which is a big dry fly, and then off the curve of the hook, you tie a little bit of tippet, and then you run a nymph or something off of that. So you're fishing two sections of the water, the surface and then down below. It was pretty consistent. I caught a handful doing it that way. The dropper I was using was just a chubby, not a dropper, but the dry I was using. And off of that, I was running just a tiny little bead-headed nymph fly off of that. And then productivity kind of slowed, so I elected to pull the nymph off, because it seemed like most of the strikes were actually on the dry. So I pulled the nymph off, and then I went to a purple haze fly. This is a big one. I wasn't using one this big. I just got a big one so it's easier to see on camera. Much smaller than this. Same pattern. It was extremely productive throughout all morning. I did switch briefly to kind of a soft tackly looking pattern. Let's see if I can find it here. There it is. This is going to be hard to show on camera, but let me get... I switched to that briefly, caught a couple on it, but it wasn't near as productive as that purple haze fly. So I switched back to purple haze. Those last couple of fish I caught on that last hole were probably the nicest ones. They were probably a 6-inch, maybe a 7-inch trout, you know, and this is an incredibly small stream. So that's a pretty big fish for a stream this small. I definitely recommend coming up here and trying Badger Creek. Bonnie's Crossing is right along it. It's a campground. It's a National Forest Service campground. And you have quite a bit of river access, and there's actually a trail that goes up like 12 miles that you can hike along and fish. I stayed pretty much campground and below. I didn't go up on the trail, maybe next time. But it was a very nice, productive day navigating around Little Creek. So, like always, like and subscribe. I have a lot of this tackle and stuff I use in my eBay store. So the link is almost always in the video description. And hopefully you guys can get on the river somewhere.